Let's see if we're up and running. If someone's in chat, please let me know if everything's working okay. We'll hang out for a few minutes before we get going on this live unboxing. So we are going to unbox a $99 3D printer today. That's a good, reliable printer. But there are some conditions around it. So if anybody's in chat, please come on, say hi. Let me know if the audio and the video is good. I want to make sure it's working before we get started. It's a nice, brisk, cold Saturday morning. The sun is shining, so maybe we'll lose some of our snow today. If anybody's out there in chat, please just say hi. I just want to verify everything is working as planned. Let me go over to my browser and see if there's people online. Let's go into Twitch to see what's happening. So guys, is there anybody out there? Please say hi. Let me know that everything's working. Abadas, good morning. How are you? Please let me know if the audio and the video is good. I'm not on Twitch. Sound is good, okay. And how's video? Looking good? Just before we get started, I want to make sure it's good. Now, in this session, I will not have the on-screen games working. I want to record it clean because I'm going to take it down and put it over into YouTube. So, let's see what else is going on over there. Looks good on your phone. Okay, well, that's good. How is everybody this morning? Let's see how many people are actually on. Let me go to my YouTube studio or create a dashboard and see what's going on over there. Let's see. Okay, we're working. Good. So I'll wait a few minutes before we get started, but I'm going to do a live unboxing of a $99 3D printer. There is a condition around it. First of all, you have to be living near a micro center. Secondly, you have to go into the description of this stream and grab the link from the description before the 18th of this month. If you get that link, fill in your details. Good morning, Chris. Good morning. So you need to go to the link below in the description, grab the link, go to the URL, fill in your information. You need to set it up with a new email. Now, it doesn't care about your phone number. It's your email address is what's important. And your email has never been registered with Micro Center before. So if you're near a Micro Center, you can do this. Fill in that form. It'll send you a message to your cell phone, a URL link, which will bring you to a coupon. And that coupon will get you $100 off a printer up until the 18th of the month. Hey, Vincent, good morning. Or good afternoon, sorry. It's afternoon for you. So a $99 printer, but it's in US only, as far as I know. I think Micro Center is US only anyway, and you need to be near a Micro Center location within driving distance. You cannot do this online. You need to go to the store. It's in store only, and if stocks are available. If you're wondering what printer it is the Ender 3 Pro. With the link, with the URL in the description below. Now, this is not an affiliate link. I'm earning nothing. This deal is out there. If you, it is an Ender, yes. So if you go to the link below, fill in the details in that link to get the deal. It'll send you a text message. Your email needs to be unique, not your phone number. Because I have other phone numbers and email addresses registered with Micro Center. But when I changed my email, I got a new link, and it worked. And it's the Ender 3 Pro with taxes, depending on the taxes in your state. It costs $106. So it's $99 plus tax. Tax is 6%, so brings you up to just slightly under $106. Phil Hackers. Yeah. If you know somebody near a Micro Center for you, they'll actually do it for you, and then either you pay the shipping, which probably costs about $40 or $50, or you could drive to them and then pick it up later on, meet somewhere in the middle, so whatever. It's worth it. $99 for a printer. Come on, you can't get any better deal than that. I've seen really crappy machines out there that cost more than this. I have one over there that costs $150, and it's not even worth the packaging it's in. Some of you have seen it, a little toy one. Let me show you. So you have this printer for $99 if you get the deal at Micro Center, or you can buy this thing for $150 on Amazon, and that's, in all fairness, it's not worth the packaging it's in. So it's your choice. That toy one is designed for kids. I wouldn't give it to a child. In all fairness, I would not give it to a child. This thing, I would supervise, I would guide, and I would give it to a child in a heartbeat. It's a good machine, and it's a staple for Creality. 2.5 years ago, I paid $200. They are 200. They are €200 if your local Micro Center has a deal. Right now they're $199, but if you go to the coupon link below and fill in the details, and you go there before the 18th, the coupon is valid till the 18th. It's you can get $100 off if they have it in stock. And I walked into my Micro Center, and there's a pile of them stacked there. So they had something like 25 in stock. They're trying to clear out the stock of what they have. They're offering really good deals. If you don't do it, you pay $200. So it is a really good price. I mean, phenomenal pricing. So we're going to unbox this, build it. Now this does come as a kit. There's a lot of assembly in the Ender 3 Pro. It's not like some of the other machines where you just stand up the gantry, bolt it together, and you're done. This is pieces that you have to bolt together. No Micro Centers in the Netherlands. Yeah, I can't help you. Unless you want somebody who's going to buy you one here, and then you pay for the shipping cost, which is probably the same as buying it for €200 anyway. So shippings is gone ridiculous. Yeah, and it's not a very heavy package, but it's enough weight. So how is everyone's Saturday morning going anyway, or Saturday afternoon? Some of you, you're already halfway through your day. I hope you're all having a good day so far. I'm going to do this, and then when I'm done here, I'll later on jump over to Jerry's stream. Hey Carl, good morning, or good afternoon, Carl. Carl's in the UK. And so yeah, for $100 you can't go bad with a printer like that, but you have to be in the US and you have to be near a Micro Center. Can I get 2 Enders for shipping from the US to Netherlands? It has to be, it's one per household, so you'd have to have 2 people to buy 2 of them separately for you, and then they'd have to be shipped out. Now, I'm working on something that I may be able to get these at about $100 a piece anyway. And I'll keep you posted. I'm doing some investigation, and I may be able to get them cheap. And if people still want Enders, I may be able to buy. If I can bulk buy a few of them, I might be able to get them cheaper. So, yes, for Carl, this is going to be belt conversion. So, for those of you who do not know, I have no need for an Ender 3 up until now. I have lots of other printers here, many printers here that I use. This Ender is not going to be an Ender 3 for very, very long. I bought it to set it up, to test it, and since I have it, I might as well do it live, right? Because there is a process involved, because it is a kit. And then once it's done, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to tear it apart again, and then in about a week or two's time, once I get the belt kit in, I'm going to go through the process of turning this Ender 3 into a belt printer. So it's going to have its life as an Ender 3 is going to be very, very short. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the Ender 3s. I've never owned one. I've owned lots of other machines, but I've never owned an Ender 3. I have an Ender 2 Pro, and I have a Ender 5 Plus. And I have a CR10 Mini. They're the only Creality machines that I have. And this is the first time I've ever owned an Ender 3. So. Or your V2, well, the kit I'm getting will not work with the V2, I don't believe, but this is fine. So I'm going to convert this, and I'm going to do it live. So I have a whole pile of, they're not here actually, they're over there. I have a whole pile of 3D printed parts that I've done over the last week or so. And they're all done in PETG. They're all finished. Actually, the last piece I can quickly show you is, where am I? The last piece is a green print over there on that printer. That's the last piece I finished this morning. So that's done. That's ready. I'm just waiting for the conversion, the belt kit and pieces to come in, and then I will actually start doing a live stream, and probably over a few live streams here, and I'm going to do the conversion of this into the TIG tack belt printer. So let's get started. We have 8 people online. That's cool, guys. Don't forget, share this out to your friends. Share it out on your YouTube and your Twitter and so on. Or not YouTube, on your Facebook and your Twitter. Get it out on Instagram. Get it out to your friends. Let them know that we're live, so they can come in and join in. I have met all the requirements except the number of people on live streams to go for partner. You need to get up to 70 people consistently on your live streams, which is hard, but on average. So that's a goal that I'd like to reach to. And remember, if you're new to the channel, follows are free. If you want to subscribe to the channel you can subscribe, or if you're an Amazon Prime user, if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can use Amazon Prime Gaming to create a subscription for free. It doesn't cost you anything. Amazon basically does the subscription part for you. Right, let's get this unboxed and have a look. So the in-chat games should be functioning, but the on-screen games are off because I want a clean recording. So you can do the gamble game and so on in chat. So let's get this opened up, and let me change this over so you can see what's in the box better. Oh, cool! You get a $10 off for Inland as part of the kit. Inland filament. Inland is actually what is the filament that I believe is sold by Micro Center as well. I've never used Inland filament, by the way. Let's see what's in the box. We have trash. We have our instructions, which we will use. We have our screen. We have trash. We have a 10 by 10 extrusion. What else do we have over here? This is going to be awkward to get out, so let me get out this part first. Okay, this is our extruder and our X-axis motor. Everything seems to be there. Let's see who's talking in chat. Hey, this 105, how are you? Phil Hackers. Nice you open up while you're doing the parking. Open the parking lot, yeah, and run back in and get some $10 off filament. that is a good point. The Ender 3, that's what I'm using for a handful of upgrades. As I said, yeah, the Ender 3 is one of Creality's staples. It's been their base. It's probably the main key to their success for a long time. So we have our base that includes our extruder. So that needs to go up here. I'm going to stick that out here in the front, out of my way for now. We have a power supply. Before you do anything, check the power supply. It's at 230. It should be shipped at 230. Just switch it down to 110. Let me get my Allen set. Just 1 second. So, sorry. So just make sure you switch the power supply to your local power. It's here in the It's right here. It should become at normally it's shipped at 230 volts. Just make sure. I'm in the US. You switch it down to 110. At 230 in the US, it will be okay. It just won't function properly. At 110 in Europe, you'll blow up the power supply and the board. So be careful of that. Let's see. On the Ender 3, okay, thinking of getting an Ender 5 Plus. I have my Ender 5 Plus, I love it. The one thing is the board is noisy. The steppers are very noisy, they're the old style steppers. You might consider getting a silent port for it, but it's a great machine. I have Ender 5 Plus, and yeah, the same for Mink. Yeah, Chris, I have the same. I love my Ender 5 Plus. It is, so that's all on this level. That's it, all empty, just cardboard. Trash. Okay, on the bottom, let's have a look and see what's in here. I'm assuming a Z stepper motor, right? A tool pack, and all the bolts that go into assemble a printer. Spatula, standard spatula that comes with most quality machines. You won't need that at all, I don't think. Or spool holder, and there should be a bracket in here for holding that as well, somewhere. Some filament and a couple of end stops and idlers. This is the stand for our spool holder. This is part of our X gantry, which we'll get into later. A power cord, US power cord, which I don't think I'll use it, but I don't think I need it. I have plenty here. And some 2010 extrusion for the Z uprights. And that is everything. You see? Yep, all done. All empty. Trash. Okay. Let's move some stuff around and make some space. So this is going to be my... This printer comes with standard quality hot end, which is fine, the MK8 style hot end. This is a flexible magnetic build tack, which is it's okay. I do prefer the flex steel. If I'm going to go flex, I prefer the flex steel. Flexible build tack has a tendency that when you're doing large prints, if they cool and tend to curve, they'll curve up in the corners like this, so it'll lift. I've seen it happen. I've seen not so much in mine, because as I said, I generally replace these, but I've seen it on other people's where it actually has curved and pulled up the build tack. Whereas a flex steel is harder for the print to lift. So let's see what's in the pack. I'm good, Matt. How are you? So, in this pack of bits, you get an SD card with an adapter. You get the idler for the X-axis for tensioning. This is a Z end stop. Sample of filament. Here's what you do with the sample of filament, right? When you get these, and you get these little small spools of sample of filament, the first thing you do is you take, before you even assemble your printer and you get these, one, go to the store and actually buy a proper spool of filament, not one of these. And when you get this, you do that with it. They're a waste of time. They get tangled, they get knotted up, they cause problems. Dump it. Unless you have a 3D pen, then you could use them on a 3D pen because you don't mind fiddling with it on a 3D pen. But on a printer, they're a waste of time. And any manufacturer who ships those should be smacked for doing it. You should never, ever, ever ship those. You ship, they're better off to ship the 250 grams. Do I have one here? I do. They're better off shipping this. That's a quarter spool, 250 grams. It's on a spool. It doesn't get tangled, doesn't get twisted up, doesn't get knotted. This is what you ship, not that piece of crap. That's loosely spooled. They're a waste of time. Now I get off my high horse. They are terrible. Okay, so let's see what else we have here in our little bag of tricks over here. Level cutters, which will be used later. A needle for your clearing your hot end, which hopefully we will almost never have to use. Some zip ties, which will come into use. Some wrenches that we'll need. Screws, MK818s. These are M5s or M5 by 45s. These are all needed for assembly. Some end caps. A belt for your x-axis. Some more M525s bolts. M58s. 2 T-nuts, which I'm assuming for the filament holder. And these are M420s. I'll leave that aside in case there's any pieces left over. And you also get a nozzle, a spare nozzle, some clips, and pneumatic connectors as well. Okay, let's look at the instructions and see what they say. There's probably a quick start guide in here that puts assembly really easy. This is your instructions for assembly. Ooh, pictures. I like pictures. So apparently it's this is like Alcoholics Anonymous. It's a 12-step process. Look, 12 steps. So we have a 12-step process to go through and build a printer. Okay, step 1. List 1 is a list of all the components. That's fine. Step 1 is assemble the Z uprights. So let's do that. And these are the Z uprights. Use a voucher. Yes, a voucher. Let's see. No. So Marcus, if you go, there's a link in the description of this here. If you go to that link, it's not an affiliate link. I'm not an affiliate of Micro Center in any way. If you go to that link and you go in there and you register through that link, it's a $100 coupon off the Ender 3 Pro. If you have a local Micro Center, you cannot do it online. You fill it out. It'll send you a text message. Now you have to, if you've been to Micro Center before, use an email that has never been registered with before. Then go to Micro Center. Then it'll give you a text message with a URL. Go to that URL, print out a coupon, or have it on your phone digitally. It's fine. And go to your local. You have to drive to your local Micro Center, and if they have Ender 5 Pros in stock up until the 18th of the month, that coupon will give you $100 off that printer. So it's $199 right now. You can get it down to $99 plus taxes, depending on your state taxes. In Michigan, it's 6%, so it brought it up to just under $105. If you do an I'll let you know afterwards. That's a good question, Matt. If after my 12-step process, do I become an alcoholic? I hope not. That'd be a really bad PR for Creality, but it's a good question. So let's get this unpacked. You know what? I don't care about marking the extrusion. So where did I put I had a blade here a moment ago. And I can't find it now. This is not typical. When you want to find something, you never do. That's alright. That's what this is for. The real reason for a spatula is to do this. Hey, if you're a sub chat. Yes, because I want. It's not sub chat. It's not sub chat. It's on. Is it? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me turn that off. That should not be on. 1 second. That should be off. Oh, I'm sorry. I must have hit a button. I'm sorry. Let me see. Disable subscribe. Sorry, yeah, I must have hit a button wrong in the dashboard. I'm sorry, guys. No, I have follower chat mode on because I want people to follow the channel when they do come in, so they can engage with us with me. But sub chat only, no. That's only if you're doing a sub only stream, and I don't do sub only streams. No, at least not at the moment. And inside one to 2020 is your Z screw. Isn't that cool? Inside, they actually had it inside the 2020 extrusion. Okay, so I'll leave that later. So they want you to use MK545s. It tells you exactly what bolt you need to use. So the MK545s are the only two large. These are the MK545s. They're the largest bolt you have. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. But I must have clicked the button by mistake. I'm sorry. Let me see. Is there a board upgrade for the Ender 5 like the Ender 3s to have SQ? Yes, the SQR Mini E3 V2 I know for sure works in it because I've installed it on mine. And the reason why I put it on mine is I'm going to clipperize that machine. But when you do that, you also have to replace the screen. So it's not just a board, it's a board and screen. That has to be done. Throw away the trash. I'm going to leave the instructions here, and I'm going to get out. I'm going to use their wrench keys. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Diesel, how are you? It's the Ender. Actually, I don't have the latest. I don't have the new S version. But this is the Ender 3 Pro. That if you're near a Micro Center, and there's a link in the description below. It's not an affiliate link. It's just a link. If you go and you fill out that information on that link, it'll send you a coupon on your cell phone. A link. To your cell phone that you can get $100 off at Micro Center right now. So if you're within driving distance of a Micro Center, you can get an Ender 3 Pro for $100 plus tax, or $99 plus tax. I do not have the latest and greatest. Currently, pick and choose who they want to work with, and they don't always pick and choose me. I've been lucky once. So this goes on the side here. So you tilt it up on the side. Put the two bolts in on the bottom, and do not tighten them, because this is it has to be assembled. You have to, and also there's two bolt holes in the bottom there of the extrusion. You see them here? They have to be on the bottom, near the base. Let me go to this large camera so you can see what I'm doing. That's not good either. Okay, I can move this closer to you guys. So basically I'm doing is I'm bolting this on up here, two bolts in the back. It just goes in through the base. The two bolts go through the base. Let's see what's in chat. Yeah, the Ender 3s are still around, and this is the 3 Pro. It's in the description below. If you look at the description of the stream, it should be in the description. If you don't find it there and you follow me on YouTube, or not on YouTube, on Facebook, the AstroPrinter page, I will go in and I'll post a link there later on this afternoon, but it should be in the description below. Actually, I can grab it in a moment. Just give me 1 second. Let me put these on. So I'm not tightening them, but I have to give them a little bit of play because this all has to be lined up in a moment. Let me grab the link. I think I may even have it in memory. Let me see. Paste. No. Just give me 1 second, guys. Let me grab the link for you. And I'll put it into chat. If you don't see it in the description, I'll stick it in chat for you. So just give me 1 moment. Let's see, copy. So there is the link. Go there, and that's where you go to fill out the request. Do you know if they're an Amazon Prime member? Oh. V3 of it. Yeah, I did see there's a V3, but I haven't seen it. I don't know if it'll fit these or not. I haven't tried it out. So, I'm just going to do the other side and attach the other Z upright. Actually, I might change this camera angle a little bit. So I have one upright done, and I'm going to do the other upright now, which is on the opposite side. And again, the bolts go in first, and then your the screw holes. That should be on the inside, I believe. Let me verify. Shorter on the bottom, on the inside. Okay. These are easy enough to install and set up. But you are building a kit, so you have to leave room for aligning of stuff once it's all assembled and before you tighten it all up. Let's see. Well, I don't know why. I think there's probably some stock clearing going on because of the new version of the Ender coming out. Of the Ender 3 coming out, but they are offering a really good deal. And for those who are interested, I'm exploring the option of being able to offer printers, not selling them myself, but by going through somebody else, I can actually might be able to get some deals on the Ender 3 and some other printers as well. But I'm exploring the option. It's not set in stone yet. And if I do go there, I might be able to get some really good deals on machines like this, especially not the latest. I may get the latest and greatest ones. I'm not sure, but I'm exploring the options about how cheap I can get them. Active Electronics in Calgary. Yeah, it is a great deal. So to put these on, let's see. Step 2. Step 2 is attach the power supply, which goes on in the rear right side here, right there. So power supply, I've checked the voltage already, that it's at 115 for the US. If it's in Europe, it should be by default 220, but check it. The power supply goes on with this controller pointing outwards, and it is applied by using 2 pieces. I have to do, let me see, 2 pieces of M420s. And my M420s are here, I believe, are they? They're M5s. M418s. These are M416s. It says I need M420s, M58s. And 2 pieces of M420s, M525s, M418s. It says M420s and there's no M420s in there. So I want to see whether the M418s are being used, because I'm guessing M416s. I'm guessing it's these, because they're the only ones of the same size. Let's just check in chat. Hey Bear, how are you? I'm so fair. Okay, so I'm guessing it's the M525s, because there's nothing else the right size that will fit. see where else the M525s are being used. 1 second, guys. N5, 4 of those, so it can't be those then. 1, 2, 3. I think I'm short a bolt kit. Let me check the packaging. I don't think I missed anything, but let me check. Yes, I am missing some bolts, I believe. There's only one other pack that I did not open. Let me check that. So these are not them. M420s is calling for. A bear-free zone. Yeah, no, Michigan has bears. So does Canada, apparently. M58s, right. I expect that for the screen. And the M420s, 2 of them. And these are not. These are M416s. These are M418s. These are M48s. Oh, M420s, I found them. You know, the error is human, but no, I have not tried to keep a bear. So M420s, 2 of them, to attach the power supply. So they go through the holes here in the frame. And they use a different size wrench, I'm sure. Don't think it's this one, is it? No. There we go. And the power supply goes on with this down outwards towards you, like this. And it basically just screws into place. Line up the first one. Do the same with the second one. Once you get them started, screw it in. Just so you can see more. I'm basically put 2 bolts here to hold this in place, so it's actually raised off the extrusion. It's not sitting on it. Let me do this. Get it in and snug. You want to make this fairly tight. You don't want to moving and vibrating around. Okay. Let's check the bed. Oh, that's pretty solid. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of cables in here in the way. They shouldn't be there. 1 second, guys. There's a lot of cables all twisted up in here. Get that out of the way. There you go. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we have step 2. I have to attach the screen next. And the screen uses M5/8s, and there's 2 of those. And the M5/8s I have seen over here. I'm thinking of Night Bear. Okay. So I need 2 of these to attach the screen, and there's 2 left over that I'll use later on. And the screen was basically bolts on right here in the front. Put them in loose first, always, and then tighten them up afterwards once everything's in place. It's a bit weird they're adding the screen this early in the process, but okay, we'll just follow their instructions. As I said, this will be an ender for about a week, maybe 2 weeks at most, I'm hoping, once that kit arrives. And after that, it'll be coming apart and will no longer be an Ender machine ever again. Unless for some reason I have to revert, but I don't think so. Let's see, step 2. Step 3, put on the end stop. Okay, end stop. This is our Z end stop. We'll attach that here. It looks like my main camera has frozen. Is that the case? So 1 second, guys. My main camera has frozen. I did that earlier on too, and if it happens again, I can. I don't know why. So deactivate, activate. Yeah, my main camera is not coming online, so I will be not using my main camera. I can do one thing. Just give me a second. I can take this camera, copy this, go over here, and add it. I can use that unzoomed. So let me see if I can unzoom this. This is a bit zoomed in. It's not a great camera because of the screen width, but I can work with that one. And I can do the same here. I don't know why that's hanging, but it is. Let me see. Let me just move these order around. So that will work a little bit. Sorry, guys. For some reason, it's hanging. So I'll just move cameras around a little bit. So we have our end stop. Actually, we want to do mostly up close anyway. So we have our end stop, right? So the end stop is fitted like this, and this is a stop to make sure it fits in correctly. And all you have to do is loosen these 2 bolts and mount it on the left hand side. Cable chain on the printer. Well, it won't remain an Ender for long. Maybe a week or 2 at tops. I share that link with my neighbours, trying to get lots of kids off the Xboxes. Yeah, do. Yeah, as long as you get an but you need to go in store, and you need to have a Micro Center nearby, right? You have to drive to a Micro Center, and you have to have it in stock. You're pooping the BL Touch. You said you're pooping. I'm assuming you mean you're putting the BL Touch on your Ender today. Okay. That's going to happen when they start their 9 print. Yeah. They start their 9-hour print and go play the Xbox. That's probably true. So Z stop. It says, well, that should go in the extrusion. Let's see. It says, oh, that should go into that slot. Okay. So for positioning, I should sit there. Okay. Make sure it's square. Tighten this up. It is plastic, so don't over tighten it. It's probably a piece of ABS. Just make sure it's flush. And it does need to be super tight anyway for that end stop. It's just mounted right here. You have a Micro Center and you have 25 in stock. Well, yep, the deal is there now, so go fill it out. And if you've been to Micro Center and you've registered an email before, you need to register a different email address because it's based on email address. So an email address and your cell phone, and when you go to the Micro Center, they'll actually find it afterwards because they do check. So what's after doing this end stop? Step 4, put on our Z-rod. Not A rod, Z-rod, right? So attaching the Z-rod, well, before you do the Z-rod, you have to attach the stepper motor. And does this tell you to attach the stepper motor? It does in step 4. Okay, stepper motor here uses M418s by 2. M4, these are 15s, M418s, 2 M418s. I think it's a great price, especially and their Creality are like the Ender 3 has been the basis of Creality forever, right? That's made them what they are today. The Ender series machines, especially the Ender 3 as a beginner machine, it's probably been the most populous beginner 3D printer out there. So, do you want to sub now? Oh, you're asking me to hydrate. Okay. No alcohol, water. There you go. Happy now, Matt? So many printable mods. Yeah, there is a huge amount of mods. Now, getting the second bolt in there doesn't really fit. So, what you may have to do is to loosen this one up, move it, slide it upwards, get the bolt to drop into place, and then release it again. You loosen the coupler, because this screw will not drop into place. So you loosen it up, now get it back into place again. Does it have a flat side? It doesn't, so it doesn't matter. Probably a little higher than that. There you go. Let's get it snugged in, and then we'll put on our Z-screw once we get this mounted. It's mounted back here. There's 2 screw holes in the extrusion, which I showed you earlier on. Up. And I will be wrong size. Hey Richard, how are you? If you haven't, so thank you all for joining me. This is going to be fun. This is my very first Ender 3. I've never had an Ender 3 before. I have many other printers, but this is a new one for me. Just get it tightened up. Nice and snug. Okay. Next, Z-screw. Let me see if I can get that main camera back. Is it still frozen? Let me see. It's not great. I don't like this camera. For this camera is destined to be my mobile camera. But so we just have to make sure this is loose, and we probably need this Allen wrench. No, next one down. Make sure this is loose, and you just slot in there all the way down to the bottom, push it down, and then lock it in nice and tight. Let's see what's in there. Nice and tight. Z-screws in place. Step 4. Remember, this is a 12-step program for the Ender 3 Pro build. Step 4 is to get one of the extrusion pieces for the 1010 extrusion pieces, and use that. That's trash. Shouldn't be there. And use that extrusion for my x-axis. I know people are saying you're going to scratch the extrusion. You know what? It's not going to remain an Ender. For those who just joined, I'm building the Ender because I got it, and it's not going to be an Ender for very long. It's going to be an Ender right now, and it's going to be turning into a belt printer in the next few weeks. So it's going to be an Ender for about 2 weeks or so, and once my kit for the belt printer comes in, I'll be tearing this apart and rebuilding it as a TIG-tac belt printer, which is a kit you can get. Hey Blasto, how are you? So it tells you to use, there's two pieces of extrusion. I'll show here. One has got the holes evenly spaced on both sides. That's the top of your X entry. We're not doing that right now. So that gets put aside. There's another one that is actually, the holes are, there's something like this. One is further apart than the other. This is the ones with the short end. This is where your belt tensioner goes, your idler for your belt, for your X. This side is where you mount your extruder. And this is our extruder assembly that comes with the printer. So let me, 2-in-1, let me do this so you can watch what's going on. So the instructions are, on the short end, so I need two M4, sorry, let me move these out of my way so I can make some space. I need two pieces of M416s. And the M416s are these short ones. The kit is not available yet. I'm beta testing the kit. So it's not available as a kit yet. If you go to the Facebook and you look up a group called TIG, T-I-G-T-A-K, the group is there, but they've only selected a few people to do beta testing for them. And I happen to be one of the people they're doing the beta testing with. And with that light, the light on that camera is terrible. So there is a kit. It's not available yet. I'm beta testing it. I will show the live build. I have all the parts I need to print 3D printed for the kit. It's all printed in PETG. You could use ABS as well. And then when and I will show it live. And once the build goes okay and everything prints okay, based on our feedback, they may tweak the kit a little bit before they actually ship it. Heel curmudgeon. So I will put the link in. Again, go to my Facebook. I'll put the link in there to the group if you want. I can do it again later on here if you wish, but I want to try to get this going first. But we can do that. Yeah, let's stick with that camera. So I need these two, and it says on this end. Is that the right side? Let me check one thing. That's correct. So that's the short side. So on the short side, you see here where the bolts are really close together, the holes. This is where this goes on. And this will then later on go on the back and mount here. The reason why, and by having that over there, right, it'll be on the back of the axis. It'll be on this will be on here. It'll go like this. Or sorry, like this. And then your extruder will be over here. So extruder goes on with the motor to the front. Okay, and the extruder gets mounted in the back, so it slides on to the gets mounted on here. So there's a little indent, and the indent goes over this bolt, so it sits on like so. And your two screws go in the back. So what you have to do is put the screws in first, drop them in, and then you put your wrench through the holes here in the back to tighten it. And I like to get it started by putting the wrench in there first to hold everything in place. And then align it after the fact. Might be easier to do this on the table. get it started. We'll start a second one, and then we can flip it over and assemble it easier. So an editor is a good beginner machine, but assembling it is not really for beginners. Again, do not tighten these up fully yet, because you'll need to get everything aligned on the axis before you do so. I just noticed something that's I need to fix. My Z screw is not in straight. I can see a big tilt on it, which is going to be no good for printing, so let me fix that. I'm wondering if these are slightly off, maybe. One second, guys, I just noticed the Z screw is tilted to one side and it shouldn't be. I'm guessing it's the motor alignment, so I'm going to quickly fix that. It's not a bent screw, because the Z screw is not warped, because it's sitting correctly at the same angle. There we go. So you need to make sure that the Z screw is straight up and down with this extrusion. And mine was, when I tightened it up, it was actually slightly off. So I'm going to realign it so it's actually upright. So it runs parallel. I know, parallel, big word for a Saturday morning. That's better. Yeah, okay. So that's when that's on. It also tells me here to get a coupler, which I have here, and attach the coupler here for the for your Bowden tube. Let's do some chat. Happy Saturday. Hey Jersey, how are you? Hey Hutch, how are you? Good morning. So this coupler, these are the same. So this bolts on here. This is where your Bowden tube will connect in. I'll need to get out these wrenches. And just don't over tighten that, because this is ABS, right? This is ABS. You do not want to break that. Just want to snug it on there so it doesn't come loose. So you go from loose to just a little bit of resistance, and that's all you need. If you over tighten that, it'll crack. Next, step 6 is attach the other end. Put on. There's two things actually part of step 6. One is attaching your extruder. Let me get these cables sorted out so nothing's in the way. One's attaching your extruder to this. So the extruder goes on with nozzle, obviously pointing downwards. There's a bit of, and you slide it on, so it's facing forward like the QR code is. And then next, you take this wheel set, and the bolt in the back of the wheel set. There isn't. Oh, do I have this on backwards? No, I don't. So the bolt in the back of the wheel set goes into the indent that's back here. So it fits in like that, and you attach it with, what does it say here? M416s. So let's get some M416s. And we attach that here from the back. Okay, so turn it over, and M416s go through here, It's easier. Two pieces M416s. Okay. Look at the correct wrench. I think that's too big. This one here. Good morning, Jerry. I didn't see you pop in a while ago. We're building the Industry Pro. It comes as a kit, so it requires a fair amount of assembly. It's a good beginner machine, but the assembly is not a good beginner process because they have to assemble it. So let me see where this connects in here. It's easier if I stand it up and see. Okay. Just to get the bolt started. Let's see. Local news just came on Home Depot employee arrested for swapping real cash with Monopoly money. Wow. He didn't think that would get caught the moment it went up to the finance department? Did they say which Jersey? Where are you based? Are you in New York area? Going by the Jersey name or New Jersey area, maybe? Clearance. Oh, it's like a Tim stream and throwing stuff on the floor. Probably over tightening a little bit. That's why it popped out. Cool. Jersey Shore. Okay, so we have that assembled. With 2 bolts in there, we have all this done, and then next we have to feed in the belt. This is always fun part, the belt. Just a Jersey Shore. Cool. Okay, the belt. Most of you are into 3D printing, so you already know this. One side smooth, one side to the side is always down, so it goes into the idlers and it gets caught by the gear system. Okay. Belt should be put easy way to put the belt on is put this on upside down. It hooks over a little latch. The way it goes on here is it goes down and then you bend it backwards. You click in the belt there, so it's held by the brass connector, and then you feed it through. In here there's an idler in here, a little gear. It goes around that gear, so make sure it stays face downwards with the belt, so the teeth go into the idler. You have to do a bit of fishing to get this through. It's easy enough to do. And then you have to fish it all the way back again under the gear this time. Again, teeth facing the same way. Where am I? This is a bit kicking to the end. So if you've been to in Jersey Shore area and you've been to Home Depot, check your money. So that's there. Feed it around here. Under, actually these wheels are in the way, so let me slide these off. Through there, and it'll come out the other side and gets attached to the other end of this. So let me pull it through and gets attached like so. So you should end up with the 2 brass pieces sticking out like this. And the loop at the end will actually be caught by the idler that we put on in a while. And does it say, it actually says to put on the idler now, which is fine. So, idler time. This is your idler. Easy to put on, easy to install. There's 2 T-nuts on it. Use a larger wrench. And the idler goes through the wheel on the idler, goes through the belt, and it just slides into this extrusion. So first of all, slide it into the extrusion. Get that belt out of the way, it'll be easier. Actually, it'll be easier if I do this first. Take off one of these. It says to do the belt all the way up first, but I think that's a mistake. This shouldn't be like that. You should actually put the idler on first, then finish off the belt. Because that idler is a tensioner. Ender for $100. Yep, Just Gaming, correct. And Ender 3, if you're near, I put a description in there. I put in a, let's see, do I still have it in memory here? Is it still the same one? There's a link. If you go to that, if you have a Micro Center nearby you and you have to go in store, go to that link, fill in the details. You need to use an email address. You've never used a Micro Center before. You're going to get one per household, but if you fill that in and you go and you drive into your and you, what it does is it sends you a text message with a link. That link will open a coupon. Either keep the coupon on your phone or print it out. It's up to you. Bring it. Go to Micro Center. If they have Ender 3 Pros in stock, you show them that. When you go to the register, show them that, and it's until the 18th of the month, I believe. But if you show them that code, you get a $100 discount on an Ender 3. So you get, instead of paying $199, you get it for $99 plus taxes. So it'd be, depending on your state taxes. In Michigan, it came in just under $105, or just over $105. You're in the Netherlands. Oh, and you have the Aquila. The Aquila is a good machine. The Volkswagen Aquila are a good machine. I don't own one, but they are a good machine. So, getting the tension on this, get a larger wrench. Stick it between the idler and the wheel, and you do is give it a little bit of a tension pull, keeping it straight. Ideally, keeping the whole thing aligned. So these should be aligned. A little bit of tension on it. Tighten it up. It doesn't need to be super tight, but it needs to be tight. Getting these tightened up. Just check to make sure that there's nothing rubbing. That's good, and then snug it down. That's your X-axis assembly done. Next is to, it says put on the belt and the idler. That's all done. That's step 8. So we're on this 12-step program to assemble the printer. Step 9 is to mount this on and put it together. So step 9, getting these wheels over the extrusion is easy enough. But then you'll have to, when you're putting it on, I don't know if you can see it, the wide camera. Actually, let me bring it over here to wide camera. Let's go over to the main camera. This is terrible. My main camera went out on me. So when you assemble this, come on, focus. It doesn't want to focus. Okay, you have to screw this down as you bring it in. Okay. Sorry if I made anyone of these seasick. I'm sorry. Go back to the. This is better. You know that you oh. Okay, so you manually, by turning the Z screw, you manually screw it down into place. Why is that not catching? It's not screwing into place. Just one moment, guys. I'll just spin it around so I can see better over on my side. Figure out why. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go against their instructions. I'm going to take the Z screw off, and I'm going to do it manually, not this process. I don't like doing it this way. So let me remove and loosen the Z screw and remove it, and do it this way. So I'm basically putting the Z screw in first, and then I'll remount it back into its coupler. And it means getting grease in your fingers, but who cares? It's not a new Ender 3, no. By the way, welcome, Schwan. No, it's not the new Ender 3. It's an Ender 3 Pro, but right now in the US, you can get an Ender 3 Pro up until the 18th of the month at Micro Center. If there's a link that I posted a moment ago. Using that link, you can, if you're in the US and you have a Micro Center nearby you can drive to, you can get an Ender 3 Pro for $99. Then you pay plus taxes. That's today. You can get it right now if you're in the US at Micro Center. Okay, 1 second, guys. I need to get something to clean off my hands. Okay. So it's a fantastic deal. Oh, you got one? Okay. Well, the closest to me, 1.5 hours to save you $100 is not bad. There we go. That's what we needed. And then get this side on snug. Now I'll drop the Z into place. That was much easier than doing their process. For some reason, the Z screw did not want to play nice doing it their way. So just do it my way, right? Now that's nice and snug, and the Z screw is moving, and the X-axis is moving nicely. Okay, now a few things I want to do before I tighten everything up. I know I have to tighten all of this up. This is still all wobbly, and it's done in reason because I wanted to assemble it all first. Right? Now that I have that together, I need to put on the top of the. I suppose I'm pushing the Bowden tube and get it done. There, done. They do have the little blue clips that come with it as well, but I'm not going to bother. So all I did was I plugged in the Bowden tube over here onto the extruder as well. And let's see. Now they say put on the top extrusion. Right, on the top, when you put on the top one, there is some indents on one side that are not on the other. Make sure you use the, wrong camera, right? Up here. There are indents on one side that are not on the other. The indents point upwards. Let me see if I can turn. Is this any better, actually? The camera in this, the light in this is terrible. This camera, for some reason, is not very good. What all I'm doing is I'm going to bolt this on with these indents on top. I'm going to bolt on here, and it says it needs. What does it need here? It says it needs 2 pieces M525s. M525s are these ones. I need 4 of these. And it says there's supposed to be some washers, but there's no washers in the kit. Oh, sorry, they come on the bolts. Okay, that's fine. The washers actually are right here on the bolt. So let's see. I got one of the good. I just got my backup and running after a week ago. I got a spider hot end. Okay. Get the right wrench for this. Feed these in, and I'm going to go afterwards. Now that I have this assembled, I'm going to go around and tighten everything else up. So I wanted to get the assembly done because you have to assemble the whole frame. It's not like it comes assembled from the factory. So because of that, I'm going to start tightening stuff up now that the main frame is together. Let's get this going. Let's get this one started first. Okay. So this will not remain as an Ender 3 for very long. Actually, we need to do this one is better. Is this? It's not great. But this printer will not remain as an Ender 3 for very long. The Ender 3 is only here. I have lots of printers. I don't need an Ender 3. But the Ender 3 is here for one reason only. Because I'm going to convert it to a belt printer. But I want to do the build since I got the printer. I'm going to do the build of it to show it being built, because it is a kit. And then I'm going to later on convert it, test it, obviously. And then when I know it's working, I will then go back to it, and I'm going to, in about 2 weeks when the belt kit comes in, I'm going to tear it apart and rebuild it as a belt printer. So let's get this frame tightened up. Tilt this over on its base, on its side, and get this all snug down. And thanks guys for the follows. They're appreciated. Thank you. It's easier to do this one this way, I suppose. Good morning, Shadow. How are you? It's just afternoon for me, actually. I'm based in Michigan, so I do not have the online game. The chat game should be working. I think like the gamble and so on. The video games, like the on-screen stuff, are not, because I'm trying to record this and use it later on in YouTube. Okay, so we have the assembly done, and it's a nice little machine. It goes together pretty easy, especially when you know what you're doing. What does it say here? 2 end caps. Oh, okay, spool holder. Next. Lost my 30th bid on the house this morning. Oh, that sucks. Been there, done that. Yeah, the housing market has gone crazy. I need 2 M5 T-nuts and 2 M5 8s. And these are M5 8s. And we assemble this. It's easy enough to do. Let me show you here. The 2 nuts come in here, and you attach the T-nut underneath. Yeah, well, losing. Let's go back here. Yeah, I was lucky. I actually didn't lose anything. I put in a bid. They came back with a counter offer. I updated my counter, my bid a little bit, and for my place, and they accepted it. So I got really lucky. So spool holder gets mounted pointing backwards. The reason why is the filament is loaded in the back of through the extruder over here. So you want to have the spool holder sticking out the back. Now I'm going to leave it nice and pretty in the front like this, because there's a front face here, and then there's an indented face. I'm going to leave it like this facing front, but I'm going to bolt it on this way. Actually no, I should go the other way. It'd be smoother for the filament spool. It doesn't matter, we'll try it. Just going to bolt it on like that. Even though they say to mount it forward, or whatever, I'm not going to do that. And then this basically goes on as close to the extruder as you can get it to the side, right? You want to get it close. Actually, let me take off that. That's in my way right now. Oh, lovely. One of my T-nuts fell off. Go on, say it. Someone's going to say it in chat. Where's Kieran? Hey, Big Jano. Good morning. How are you? The Micro Center Ender, yes, for $100, guys. You can't go wrong. If you want a nice small print bed, $100 for a printer with a discount code, but up until the 18th of the month, I believe. Oh, well, that makes it harder. So yeah, if you go, the link I posted earlier on, if you do not see it, I can repost it in a moment. But for $100 for an Ender printer, like, that's a steal. And the Ender 3, it's the Ender 3 Pro. It's not the standard. It's the Ender 3 Pro. In Micro Center, but you have to go into the store. You have to go use a link. Go into the store. What was the question? The most difficult part of the assembly. Well, I'm used to building 3D printers, so it's not difficult. I would say putting together the X gantry is probably the hardest part for people who do not know how to use build 3D printers. The X gantry assembly is tricky, and that's probably the trickiest part, I would say, for anybody. The rest of it's easy enough to put together. But you know, I saw this last time I went to Micro Center. Got a free, no, this actually worked for the printer. I know I didn't. So the link, if you haven't seen it, let me paste it again in chat. I thought I posted. There's a link. You go there, you've printed out, you have until the 18th of the month, I believe. It sends you a link. What you do is you go there, you fill in the details with an email address you've never registered at on the Micro Center before. And then your phone number. It sends you a text. The link comes in your text. You go to that link. It gives you a code. Print it out or keep it on your phone. Go to the Micro Center. If they have them in stock, the Ender 3 Pro, they do have a specific part number, so you can see it on the box, and it's also on the form that you get with the barcode. And you go to the cash register and you get a machine out of it. For $100, you get $100 off the machine. So you get it for $99. Then you add taxes, so it comes depending on your state taxes. In Michigan, it's 6%. So I got it from, it was $105 and so many cents. Yeah, the X20 assembly. There's so many pieces, and it has to be orientated right and all this kind of stuff. But once you get over that, it's easy enough. But that is probably the trickiest part. Make sure this is solid. Wrong one. I am going to do a print on this. I need to make sure it's working. This will not remain in Ender 3 for very long because I am converting this into a belt printer. Ah, it's locked up to me. One second, I can't get a grip on that. This locked up on me. I try to assemble it. Oh, lovely. I think I have anything. I will grab that. It's okay. It's wobbly. I will take it off later. Oh, there it goes. Now, got it. Right. And what some people are waiting for. There you go. Now, I did not notice, and I could. Oh no, there it's there. Okay, I was looking for the cable that goes to the screen. You county, and always wish there was one near my. Yeah, I'm okay. It's about 30-40 minutes drive from me, maybe 45 depending on traffic. It's not so bad. So step 11 is attached to that. And then step 12 is cable everything up. Right, so we have E, X, and X. So the larger and the wider cable for the X is your stepper motor. And these are kind of tricky to get in there. They are keyed though. One second, this is x-axis. Your E comes over here at the back. Easy enough to plug in. And the other X is your X end stop. That's kind of tricky to get in there. Okay. I have a Z-axis end stop cable on the bottom here. Spin this around so you can see. And this is the end stop that plugs in. And it comes in underneath. Of course, they tell you to assemble it before you put on the cabling. Instead of taking it off, the easy way, plug the cable in first. What's preventing that going in there? And then attach it, which is the sensible way of doing this. That's way easier than trying to force a cable up in underneath. I live near Georgia. I've been well. The pies are in short demand. I actually, when I was there yesterday, I had a look, and they don't have 02Ws at all. They have some of the Pi 3 B pluses, and they have no 02Ws. They have no Pi 4s, and that's in my local Micro Center. Okay, chatting with Big Jano. I had to get one in Columbus when I went to see family over the holidays. Yeah. So, better way to attach the Z. Power cables. Lots of cables back here. There's a Z cable, or let me unplug these. A lot of cables here. This is your Z cable. It goes in the back. Again, it's all keyed. Ease of assembly. Your Y-axis is already assembled. Your power lead comes around. These are a bit tangled, but underneath your Y-axis and should plug in. And these are a good connector. And then you have your cable here. The ribbon cable goes into the connector closest to the print bed, right? There's 3 connectors in the back of the screen, and they don't show a close-up of that. Oh, they do. EXP3, they do. So that goes into EXP3, which is all the way around here at the back of the screen. I'll turn it over this way so you can see. And you bring the cable underneath and up into EXP3, which is the one closest to the print bed, and it is keyed also. This will need some cable management because it kind of sticks out there. I can probably put some of it back into the container. Okay, that's pretty tidy. And that's your printer done. Ender 3 Pro. Jersey Shore area. So, I'm not a big fan. This works. I'm not a fan of it because it's someone who's beginning and they bring the nozzle over to home it and they heat up the hot end. It's going to burn a hole in this. While I like the magnetic bed, I do not like the built-tack type of surface. It's not a good idea for beginners. But it works, and because it's already magnetic, you can always get a replacement magnetic bed for this. But I won't care about that because this is going to be in there for about a week or two, and that's it. That's our assembly done. Now, first thing you always do, these bed springs, make sure they're tightened down, because you're going to have to tram the bed, and you don't want a nozzle hitting the bed before you get started and burning a hole in the bed. Right? Oh, okay, you're chatting with each other. Okay, cool. So, power cable. And I'm going to get a spool of filament. I have that. I have some filament there. I don't know how dry it is, but it'll be okay. Power. Let's hope for no smoke, shall we? Power plugs in the outside. Plugged in. Smoke free. That's a good start. It powers up. It's alive. I need to turn it towards me so I can see what I'm doing. I do need to get a sheet of paper for leveling. So, Ender 3 Pro, ready to go. Let's see, let's have a look at the menus. We have prepare, control, TF card. I forgot to get the TF card that comes with it. It says none installed. About printer, let's see what version of firmware is. 2020-0425, version 1.0.1. I will be changing the firmware on this anyway, for sure. So let me come back out of this. Do I have a better widescreen camera? Let me see if my main camera came back online. Let me try this. I'm hoping that it reset itself. Let's see. Turn this off. No main camera. Damn. My main camera, it's a 4K camera and it went offline and it will not come back online for me. SD card gets mounted in the front over here. Let me change this view so you can see better. So the SD card, ignore this mess, gets mounted in here upside down. And it says the SD card is inserted. You don't need to be seeing me anyway. You're here to watch the printer, right? So let me get some filament. I have some silk PLA. Do I? See if this is any good. Let's see how brittle it is. If it's brittle, I won't use it. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. So I'm not going to use the PLA that came with the printer because the first thing I think is that PLA should be dumped. That PLA that comes with these printers is trash. Should never be. You should not ever give this loose spools of filament. It's a waste of time and money. So before we get started, I'm gonna straighten this out a little bit. Let's see what's going on in the chat, by the way. The Enderbender group is one type of belt printer. I'm doing a different style. So I'm not going to be using the Enderbender design. I have a different design I'm going to be using for my conversion kit. It's a TIG TAC. T-I-G-T-A-K. And if you give me, when I get this up and running, you get filament ready to be loaded. Before I do that though, I am going to trim the bed. So let's home the printer. Prepare auto home. Axes are moving. These cables will have to be sorted. I'll sort out these cables later. Do you know that if you're Amazon? This does not have a silent, most steppers. It is not a quiet machine. It moves. It's not quiet by any stretch of the imagination. As I said, I will not be in there for very long. Okay, we're way off the bed here. And the end stop is in the right position, so we'll need to bring the bed up. So let's manually do it first of all, is get it up close to the nozzle. And we'll do the same with the back, and then we're going to do a cold first of all to trim it, and then when we're close with a bit more gap than normally planned, we will do a proper alignment of the bed. And I'm going to use their QR code for doing the alignment. So let's see, this is homed. We're going to go into prepare, disable the steppers, and we can move the axis freely, and let's get close to where we need to be. Back it off a little bit more. Okay, the other side, way up too much, so tighten it down. I keep the piece of paper under the bed, under the nozzle, so I don't end up tearing up the bed when I move it around. Slide the axis forward. Again, way too loose. Oh, come on, Jim. Oh, okay. Trying to keep up with chat while I'm watching here, so excuse me. And then all the way across to this side. Way too loose. So at that, I'm going to heat up the bed, and I'm going to do the leveling again once everything's heated up. So I'm going to be doing PLA. So I'm going to preheat PLA into prepare. Preheat PLA. Let's see what temperatures they're using. Preheat PLA all in. 260. That should be 200 for the nozzle and 60. Excuse me. Forgive me. And 60 for the hotbed. Still no smoke. That's a good sign, right? Let's see what's going on in chat. How's everyone doing, by the way? Anyway, first of all. Oh, Freeheating, thank you for the cheer. Thank you, sir. I missed it. Sorry, I was paying attention over here. Thank you so much for the cheer. It's appreciated. And thank you for everybody who has followed. Thank you. Again, when I'm doing this, I'm going to keep this under the nozzle. I never move the nozzle without a piece of paper under it, because if this nozzle is hot and it's over a Build-Tech surface, it will burn a hole in it if it's too close. So to get it ready, keep it in the right spot. Then we'll do an auto home, and then when that auto home is done, we will revert back to we will go back doing the wrong way. What's this? Stuff stuck to it. Well, no. If you crash the nozzle into the bed, you probably won't have to replace the bed. But the top surface, the Build-Tech surface, you'll probably melt a hole in that. So you'll, and if you do, like, you can buy cheap PEI sheets for that. They're not expensive, or you can put a glass bed on it if you wish to. Some standoff feet for the 3v2. Okay. Are we near temperature? We're almost at temperature. 200 degrees and 60, so we're close. So again, we're going to auto home. Prepare. Auto home. There's no function in this to oh, hit the button again. So you won't damage the bed with the nozzle, unless you hit it with a hammer. You'll damage the bed. You'll damage the top surface, which is the Build-Tech surface. You could melt a hole in that, and you may want to replace it if you do indent that. Like, I've got another one there that I really messed up, and that was okay, because I have no problem replacing it. If I needed to replace it, it makes more sense that at some point I'll put a flex steel PEI sheet on a different printer that I damaged. But I don't care. It's Build-Tech. I don't really like anyway. But what I will do is this won't care about what I damage here anyway, because that build plate won't even be used at all when I'm done. Go in here, go to prepare again. I do not believe it has the option to do a bed leveling. It does not. So I'm going to do disable steppers. So now I can move the axis freely. And when it's hot, now I level. Or tram the bed is the proper terminology. That's too tight. You should be just about catching the paper. And I generally do 3 rounds. That's about right there. When I'm doing this. Because as you move one corner, it's going to affect the others. Too loose. And always do it, when you adjust it, take your hand away from it and move the paper. Don't be touching the bed at all when you're testing the paper. You know what, I might change this camera back. My laptop camera actually has a better camera than that. Let me change over to the laptop camera is a better camera than this one. So let me use that one. I should have done it a while ago. I wasn't thinking. So we should be slightly catching. But too much. When it catches, it should catch. Allow the paper to bend a little, but like flex a little bit. But when the paper is flat, it should slide through. Now you can tell already this is way too tight. So there you go. Too much. Okay. And on over to this side. Again, this is way too tight. That's why I have the paper underneath it to save the bed. Slight catch, that's good. Just tightened up again. But that's expected. This is why I do 3 rounds. That's good. That's good. That's a little fraction too tight. What I find is when you move it, you should feel like a vibration. Like it's slightly catching as you're drawing the paper. I said I do 3 rounds generally. That's good. That's a fraction tight, but it's okay. That's loosened up, so I can fix that easily. Marginal amounts, small little amounts. I think we're good at that. So again, prepare, auto home, park everything. So we are done with the setup. Now we just need, I'm going to move Z up. So I'm going to go in here to move axis. I'm going to move Z up because I want to load filament. So I'm going to move it up 10 millimeters. Well, one thing I never checked actually, I'm going to check it now. The level of the X gantry. So let me load filament first of all. I'm going to manually feed some filament in there. Starting to move. We have filament loaded. working. There's one other thing I want to do. I have this little block that I print, and I like to use it to test the level of the Z gantry. So I'm going to turn around and actually do one thing. I'm going to disable my steppers, and I'm going to push Z down. So this is actually touching the X gantry frame, not the nozzle. It's actually touching the extrusion. Right, so it's touching on this side. I'm going to come over to this side with the bed all the way out of the way. And they're not level. Actually, for me to do that properly, I'm going to move the screen. Okay, Jersey or Jerry. Mine have never developed spots, and actually you don't have to replace it. If you lose, if you develop flat spots on the wheels, move them. Get them moving again, and they will actually straighten themselves out. Or you can do what you just did and replace them, but I generally just move it if flat spots are developed. This is not level over here, and this is what we're aiming for. We're aiming to adjust these T-nuts to get everything crammed, and by using this block, I could actually adjust this one, loosen this one a little bit, it's way too tight. See if we can get this side locked in. Okay, that's not sitting straight, so it's not sitting straight because I need to adjust the wheel. So 1 second at the back. I need to loosen this. Wrong one. I need to adjust the bracket actually that holds the gantry. I'm just adjusting this bracket so it sits correctly. And then I'm going to tighten up this just to make sure they're level. Forgot to do it a while ago. Just there. Thank you for the follow, Heart Spirit. Thank you. So that's sitting better. Okay, now it's level. So again, I have to remount this. Without shorting it out. It just got in the way of using that alignment block that I have printed. I have a second one and I couldn't find it today. But I do have a second alignment block, so I put one on each side, loosen everything, and let them sit together. Good morning, Shane, Otter's Inner Garden. How are you? So this is the $99 from Ender 3 Pro from Micro Center. You just get a coupon. Let's see. Everyone's saying hi. Flip cameras. To what camera, Jerry? You mean you want to go to the larger one? Sure. Well, I'm going to go over to that anyway now because I want to wrong one. I want to go over to the larger camera anyway because we're going to get it printing. So we're up and running. We're leveled the gantry. We're going to home everything. Prepare. Home, auto home everything. Now that we have it lined up, there's a little bit of stuff. Let me get out the level cutters here. You know, I have so many of these things, and every time I look for one, I can't find them. You know, Murphy's Law. So our nozzle and our bed are at temperature. So let's go to the TF card, and we've leveled everything. We've trimmed the bed. Actually, because I moved something, I want to trim the bed again. Sorry. Prepare disable steppers. Because I moved the bed around, I want to retrim the bed, and that's why it's off. I knew that was going to happen. But that's okay. It's easy to fix. Good morning, Tim. Dewitt. Wow. Doesn't want to level at all. One other thing, if you are going to stick with the Ender 3, the bed springs on these are super weak. I recommend you replace them. Well, I'll definitely recommend. Oh, that's way too tight now again. Let's see, everyone's saying hi to Tim. Cool. And shout outs to everybody. Jerry, you're an admin, so go do the shout outs. I'm a little occupied here. Yeah. To re-level again because I trimmed the x-axis properly. Well, what I'm going to be doing is I'm streaming here this. I don't have the on-screen games working, but I'm going to then take it over into YouTube. Did most of yeah, okay, well, whoever did the shadows, thank you guys. Sorry, I just glanced over and I saw one being done by Jerry, and I called out Jerry, but whoever did the call outs, shadows, thank you so much. We should promote each other on the social medias. How else would we get names out there if we don't promote each other, right? Because I made adjustments to the x-axis, I have to retrim. That's good. That's good. Do a little bit of loosening. I think we're good. Right, let's go with that. So let's print. Print from TF. Let's see what's on it. There's a 4 model. There's a troubleshooting. There's models, user manuals. These are all folders. There's a dog. There's a pig. There's a cat. Everybody does the cat. Let's do the dog. 2.5. I selected the dog G code. And it's thinking. It's cooling down the hot end to 45 degrees. I do not want that. We're going to tune. And the bed should be at least 50-55 for PLA. It's extruding. We've got material coming out. I forgot how noisy these machines are. Because I have upgraded some of my printers with the 8-bit boards. And these are so noisy. That's an SD. That actually came on the SD card. And of course, it is doing a raft. I only done it because I always do it with a test machine. I always plug in. Let me go to this. I always do it with a test machine. I always plug in the SD card that comes with it, and I always use the files they give me because that's what first end users ever do. There is a couple of mods that I will be printing. There is a mod on here for filament guide that keeps the filament from touching your Z screw. I will be doing that at some point. There's a whole pile of mods out there for this printer, but other than doing a few test prints, that's all I'm going to do with this machine. Once I know it's functional, that's all I care about, because it's not going to remain as one of these machines for very long. I will be taking this apart in a couple of weeks once the kit for the belt comes in. I have all the 3D printed parts done for the belt to convert it to a belt printer. I'm waiting on the kit to come in to actually do the belt and so on. And then I will be live streaming the build of that into a belt printer. So it will not remain an Ender 3 for very, very, very long. It'll be taken apart within a week or two, as I'm guessing. I'm hoping at most. Let's see how's it going. It's extruding, it's printing. Actually, let me get a better camera. That close-up is okay, but I can actually put one closer. Let me move. I need that camera actually. No, I don't actually. So let me see if this one works. This will work for me. Sorry, that won't stay there. Let me find where did I put my little tripod? Not John. I actually have a small tripod for that camera, and I can't remember where I put it down. 1 second, let me go look. You watch the print as it works. It is printing. I can see if I can find my small tripod. Can't find it. Of course I can't. And when I don't want it anymore, it'll be right under my feet. Yep, can't find it. Sorry guys. Yeah, I have a small little tripod for a close-up camera, and I put it down. I took it off the camera, and I put it down somewhere, and I don't remember where I put it down. Sorry. It is a raft. All slice machines that come, like I would say about 99% of them that come from the factory, they put a raft on everything. Waste time, waste of filament. In most cases, you never ever need a raft. Rafts are great for small parts, or if you know your bed is uneven and you want it to get a good platform for your part to be printed on top of, you do a raft first, then print a part on top of the raft. Other than that, they just waste filament. But like, and these guys, I know I threw it all on the floor, I'm going to show it to you. When you get these, do not use them on your printer. They get knotted up, they get tangled. You try and put that on a spool and you'll get a spool mess and it'll get knotted up and your prints will fail. Let's see. Well, I haven't tested this and I will not be keeping this bed. The bed that I'm going to be using for the belt printer, because the belt printer is smaller than this. It's using the same width, but the belt printer itself is actually smaller. So because of that, I will not be using the heated bed, because the kit that I'll be getting comes with a different, smaller heated bed. Because I don't need a wide belt printer. I only need it wide enough. It'll be a little narrower than that, maybe 20 centimeters smaller, and that's what I'll be using. Yum tacos. So it will not be. Listen to how noisy that is. I'm going to bring the microphone closer. Don't you love 8-bit boards? Don't you just love 8-bit boards and the noise they make? And the headaches they cause you having to deal with that noise all the time? The only 8-bit board I had, I have 2 machines that have 8-bit boards. No, 3 machines. And I use them sometimes, but they're not this noisy. This is terribly noisy. But it is what it is, right? You like podcaster, Liam? Yeah, well, some of my machines that have really loud fans. Now, actually, the one flaw in the Meanwell power supplies is their the fans that come in the power supplies. The Meanwell power supplies, they're great power supplies. They're as noisy. Oh, Jerry, thank you for the sub. Thank you so much, sir. From Tim. Oh, cool. And DeWitt subscribed to tier 1. Very cool. Thank you, guys. Oh, sorry, it was Jerry. Sorry, it is Tim that subscribed. Sorry. Thank you. And if you're using a Prime, you know Prime, you can do it for, and it doesn't cost you any money extra than what you already paid for your Prime. I find the power supplies have terrible. They do, and Meanwell have a really noisy fan. So, but they are a great power supply. I think sleeve fans. No, you can't make something illegal just because you don't like it. They function. This is printing fine. I can get my close-up camera. It's not going to be great, but I'm going to hold it. And let me see the mobile camera. Why won't this focus? Here, let me come back out of this for a second. Let me figure out what's going on with the focus of this camera. I think the focus is locked, and if it is, I can fix that. It's the white balance. Auto focus on that. So let's see what's been said in chat first before I go over there. Prime sub is done through you go to Amazon Prime. You do through Twitch, but you have to go into Amazon Prime and you can do it. There are instructions online on how to, and step by step. So let me see this enclosure. This close-up cam works better now. There, focus is working better now. Excuse me, I'm holding it by hand because I can't find this my mini tripod. My mini John. It's pretty fast actually. I'm guessing 60 millimeters is what it's going at. I make a pretty stable tripod. My hand is against the Y gantry frame to hold it to try and hold it steady. I'm really a PC or that rotten fruit. You mean bad apples? You know, Apple laptops and desktops are fine. They're mobile devices I have issue with. I don't like their mobile devices. And people love them, but I prefer Android devices for mobile devices. I wonder will this stay? I don't think it will, but let's see. And it's too close to get focus, is it? I don't think that's going to stay. I think it's going to get knocked off. Yeah, it won't stay. I'll just hold it by hand. There we go. And Tim, the Apple tax. You know, I like their laptops. I have one for work. I like it. They do make good laptops. They do make good desktops. I just have a distaste for their mobile devices. Although I prefer not to get sued if I try to repair my own device. I don't think that happens if you're trying to repair an Apple device. I've done upgrades to my Apple without issues. But there are limited components you can change in them though. If the ecosystem works for you, great. Yeah, I think there is limited amount of stuff you can do. You can make changes in. Like most of the Apples now come with fixed memory. You can't change the memory in them. That's a problem. I like to be able to upgrade the memory on a computer. PC at home, Mac at work, my desktop and laptop home on PC. Yeah, I actually use a hub. I use a USB 3 hub for my cameras. I have 3 cameras on this. Actually, I have 4 cameras, but one of my 4 cameras bombed out me. It froze. I don't know why. Which is my main screen that I started off with. It froze part of the way through the stream, and I couldn't get it to restart, so I just moved away from it. I might try reseating it in a moment. Let me go to this one. Leave it there for a moment, and I'm going to try and get that other camera working again. Camera functioning again, so just move 1 second and you can see if I can get that. I'm going to studio mode and I can see if I can do it there. Plug what into a hub? A camera? Yes, if they're USB 2 cameras you can. USB 3 maybe not. But USB 2 you definitely can. So let's see if I can get this working. So it looks like I got my main camera functioning for now. Maybe. Let's see how long it lasts. Let's try and transition this over. So my main camera is working for now. I got it working. I did switch over to this laptop one, but I got it working for now. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, I can always switch over back to my laptop camera. let's see what's going on in chat while we're watching this. It's printing fine. It's a silk white. So let's see. No, a hub into a hub. You can put one hub into another one. They daisy chain. Make sure at least one of them is a powered hub. Ideally the one in the going before the computer. You can do hub to hub. You can run into bandwidth issues by moving that much data across the USB. Because USB, if it's USB 2, you're going to run into bandwidth for sure. USB 3, you might with that much video going in, but try it. I just use a single 8-port hub into my laptop is what I'm using right now. Hey Chris Travis, how are you, sir? You can daisy chain hubs. It does work. It's not great, but it does work. See, let me resize this window a little bit. Not that one. The 4K. Okay. Let's see. I think I need to buy a bigger hub. Well, it's not only that though. You have to remember that cable can only transmit so much data. So you may have to use more than one hub into two separate USB ports. That way then you're not overloading the transport layer along that cable. There is a limitation on how much data you can push. And if you're doing multiple video, like if you're doing multiple cameras, I would, if you had more than one USB port, like if you have 2 or 3 USB ports on your computer, I would run my main camera, if possible, direct to the computer. And then other cameras, peripheral cameras, I divide them across the 2 USB hubs into different ports. Because sometimes they collide. Like I've had a camera that wouldn't work for me in the past, and because we're on the same hub, they were showing up as the same address in the system, and you couldn't change it. By putting it into a different port, it started working fine. Powered hub is better. You're not drawing the power off the computer. I use a powered hub. I find it best. You don't have to use one, but if you're running cameras and you're powering cameras and multiples, powered hub is probably the right way to go. Like I power a microphone. I power my main camera that you're seeing here. That's self-power. That's actually a video camera, a remote video camera. I have two other cameras that go into that hub. I had 2 cameras that went into the hub, and the second one wouldn't work. So I moved to its own port, and it started working fine. When they're on the hub, they collide because they're the same brand camera. Silicon hub toast thumb drive. I've never had a thumb drive be damaged by a hub ever. Okay, appreciate tips and info. Thanks for. Think I'll run one hub out of the back of the computer and out the front. Yeah, if there's on 2 separate buses, and then divide your cameras across them. And if you're only running 2 or 3 cameras, have 2 in one, 2 in the other. But your primary camera, it is best if you have more than 2 ports. Run your primary camera directly into the computer. That way, then it's using the highest speed. And if your hubs are USB 3 and your cameras are USB 2, they can go on a USB 3 hub. But if your primary camera is a USB 3 camera, that should go straight into a USB 3 port if possible. Now that's I only have one, but I have one camera that's running direct for that reason. So this is printing fine. It's going to take a while. It doesn't give an estimate. It's 9%, and it's printing fairly fast. Let me get a close up again. Focus. Sorry, instead of saying focus, I should say creality. Because it's a creality machine, not a focus machine. It's printing away fine. Let's go down lower so you can see the actual material being laid down. It's doing okay. Now that I know this is working, I know I can use it for my oh, I never switched over. Sorry, forgive me. Oh, I was in studio mode, that's why I didn't auto switch. Let me fix that. Transition and come out of studio mode. Well, this is printing fine. It is white filament, so white doesn't show really good color, but details. But it's doing okay. The infill is super high on these factory slice prints, way too high. Like this infill should be about 5, maximum 10%. This looks like it's about 20% or 25%. So that's why it takes so long to print. But it's doing it. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's worthwhile for $100? Let me go back to this one. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's worthwhile for $100 for a printer? Or 100 plus $99 plus taxes. Remember the link. I'll post the link again. If anybody is near a Micro Center, the link is there. You have until the 18th. Fill out that code. Go in there. Fill it out. Use an email address that's never been registered with Micro Center before. It has to be a unique email address. And once you're done, it will send you a text message to your cell phone. Click on that link. It'll bring you to the coupon. Get into the, go to the store. It's in store only. That is not an affiliate link. I'm not affiliated with them. But you go in store only, and you can get a printer with $100 off. Yeah, it's like as I said, this is going to be converted into a different printer. This is an Ender right now. It will be a belt printer in 2 weeks' time. I was getting tangled out here. But it'll be a belt printer in 2 weeks' time. For $100, what can you go wrong? And the Ender 3 has been the bedrock of Creality to make Creality what it is today, right? This is now they're producing lots of different machines. At one point, they did the CR10 Mini, they did the Ender 3, then they went to the CR10, which is the larger version, but then the Ender 3 Plus and a few other variations of it. But the Ender 3 has been what made them their money. Shipping to Canuckland would be too costly. Stream all the upgrades you could do. I'm actually not going to upgrade this. This is going to be torn apart in a couple of weeks. Remember, I don't know if you've been on my streams already, Tim. You know I'm doing printing parts to convert the printer into to build a belt printer. Well, this Ender 3 will be torn apart and converted into a belt printer. That's what it's for. That's the only reason why it's for. I will not be using it as an Ender 3. After today, I might do 1 or 2 more prints on it, but after that, it's done. It'll go on a shelf, and when the belt parts come in, I'll be live streaming the build of the belt printer. So let me show you some of the parts. One moment. So these are some of the parts that I printed for the belt printer, all in Petchy. There's more. This will become one of these. Will become one of the uprights for the 45 degree of the Z-axis. So the Z-axis will be tilted and become the Y-axis by being mounted in here, and this will be mounted to the base frame, and then there'll be pulleys coming out of here to control the belts and so on. This is a cover. This is a Petchy. These are all Petchy. This is a cover for the main board and so on. I have all the parts are done. Sorry, I have one part not printed because I have questions about it, but if all the other parts are done. And when they get back to the office tonight, I hope to get an answer on the questions I have. And hopefully this coming week they're going to ship the parts to me, so So by the end of this week or early next week, I'll have what I need, and I'm going to live stream the build to tear this apart and turn it into a belt printer. Let's see. I'll be watching and we'll go into see. Yeah, I've seen the ones that they've built and it looks really good. So I want to see how it turns out. My main board lasts just long enough for me to get the TMC drivers. Well, I have other Ender machines, I have other Corellian machines, and the main boards have never ever failed on me. They just keep working. I may use it on my Z1 though. Okay. So I've done, as I said, this is going to be a fun project to turn this into a belt printer. I'm hoping everything works cleanly, but we'll find out live. I'm going to be doing it with you. So, and then once they release the kits, which they plan to, I'm guessing maybe within a month the kit might be available to be purchased. I'm guessing. No, I did not have to sort. I did not have to source the belt myself. A Delta belt printer. But aren't half the belt printers deltas on the Z anyway? I don't know. I have an FL Sun QQ there, and that's built on the Z. I did not have to source the belt myself. As part of the kit, they will supply the bolts, the belts that you need because you have to put in different belts, and anything else, bearings, whatever, all comes as part of the kit, and the belt is part of that kit. The scars are good and bad. They're expensive to manage and maintain. There's not really a lot of support out there for a lot of in most firmware. Like Merlin supports them. There's other firmwares out there that never went near Scara because they never took off. And Scara is limited on its functionality, and your build area is limited. It's like a robotic arm, right? And the same goes for the polar printers. Polar printers are the same. They're very limited support, and they're not very popular. Again, they're limited in how they function. So people have moved away from them. Now Scara can print really good, and it can print fast, but there's some not so great points about it too. You can actually get a good print quality out of a Scara. You can. I've seen Scaras that do really good print quality, but they're hard to maintain, and the troubleshooting them is a nightmare. There are some open source projects to do a Scara-esque prints out there, printers, open source designs. And do they work? Yes, but are they worth all the trouble that you have to deal with to get them functioning right? Probably not. That's why they never took off. Scara never really took off for those reasons, because it is difficult to deal with. And Matt German, since you asked earlier on, I've built it and I haven't turned to drink. So the 12-step program does not mean, because there's 12 steps to building this on the instructions, the 12 steps does not mean after the 12 steps you become an alcoholic. Sorry. It's good for a hobby machine. And again, back in my high horse, if you get these, dump them. Do never put them on your spool holder. They never come out right. They always untangle and they become a mess. Right? Best thing for them. Yes, I did bring it over to throw it away again, just to get my point across. So, guys, it's printing. Let me get these out of the way. These are all. This is all using Yusu green Pechi. Just so you know who the manufacturer was. see, little legs, to stand, new legs from my belt printer to stand my printer on when I convert it to a belt. Let me put these out of the way and I'll come back to you and we'll watch this print. But it's going well. This just came off the printer. Needs a bit of cleanup, but not much. The PETG was getting a little bit damp, so it does need a bit of a cleanup. That's the end of the spool, near the end of the spool, so it's been out for about a week, a week and a half or so, been printing, and it's pretty humid here. And I have the humidifier enabled on my heating because I need to keep, because of the cold weather, the air dries up. One thing I haven't done with this, and before I turn it into a belt printer, I will be doing it. Corelli are notoriously known for tinning the wires, not putting proper furls on the end of their wires. I have a furl kit. They will be furled before they go into the new printer. This is just a test to make sure it functions. I will be putting furls on this cabling system for sure. Let's see. They're good for, yes, they're fine if you have a 3D pen. That's what they're good for, and those loose spools. The only sample film package that I would even okay, you say Prusa is good. Okay, I don't have a Prusa. I'm not part of Club Orange, so I can't answer that. But if you say it's good, it's good. It's not that it's the filament itself is bad. It's the way they coil it is bad, because it's not on a piece of cardboard spool, which would be fine, or a plastic spool like this, which would be fine. It's not. It's just spooled up and it's zipped and they tie it together. And the problem with that is the moment you put it on, it'll become springy and it will fall off the spool holder. So that's why I have an issue. PETG does stick to the nozzle. Then what I do in my PETG prints is, as soon as I heat my nozzle, as soon as I heat up my hot end, just before I hit print, and everything's at temperature, I actually get a bit of kitchen towel and I wipe the nozzle and clean the nozzle before I hit go. Because then by the time it comes out and starts printing, and I hit go straight afterwards, so there's nothing oozing out sticking to the nozzle. And it does over time, and what you do is get some long tweezers, and every now and again check in your print, grab it and take off the excess. And once you get a few layers in, that goes away. What often happens is the infill, if the infill doesn't create complete lines, and some of the lines are kind of broken, which sometimes happens if we're doing fast infill, it will actually lift up and it will catch the nozzle and it will melt the nozzle. There is a stuff you can get to paint onto your nozzle that makes it slick, or there's also nozzles out there that have coatings on them to prevent material sticking to it. So you can go to either of those options. Yeah, that's it. They use the plastic repelling additive. You just paint it onto your nozzle, and it actually the filament doesn't stick as well. I haven't used it. I don't use it myself. I just keep an eye on my prints. I check them on a regular basis, and if I see build up, I use a really long-nosed tweezers. You get them in Harbor Freight or wherever your hardware store. Just get a really long set of tweezers. You just put it up by the nozzle, grab it, pull off the excess. Yeah, that's why you watch it every now and again. So you try the Slice Engineering, the plastic repellent paint on for the nozzle. They coat Slice Engineering coat their nozzles with that material, and people say it's great. Nozzle X, I believe, have that on the nozzles as well. I don't use it. I've never used it. I always clean the nozzle before I start a print, just before I start a print. No matter what material, a bit of kitchen towel, and if you want a bit of damp kitchen towel, just clean the nozzle off and you're done. But this is printing really nice. Watch this. Let me get a close-up camera. White is not a good color, so let me try and get an angle. There you go. Ooh, focus, come on. Because it's moving so fast, it's having trouble focusing. But it actually is printing really good. Switch back. Okay, it's printing fine. So now I know my ender works. So it's time to tear it apart in the next week or two once I get the kit in and turn it into a completely different printer. So there goes my warranty. Liam is either quick or prints or the snail's pace. Can't keep up with my nozzle to do. Well, at about 60 millimeters, I can clean it. I clean my nozzle when it's doing that with the tweezers. So 60 millimeters, or if you go above that, maybe you want to, if it goes above that, maybe you want to slow down your print speed, clean it, and then bring it back up to 100% again. It's up to you. But I find that works. But try to paint on stuff. It actually helps. It does help. You just paint on the outside of the nozzle, heat up the nozzle, it dries, and then go print it. It acts as a repellent. Especially when you're doing PETG or other really sticky like TPUs and so on. They like to stick to the nozzles. So what time is it? It's 1:30. We'll stick around a little bit more. I'm going to let it. I'm not going to stop the print. I'm going to let the print run, but it's working fine. So what do you guys think? Is it worth it for $100? What's your input on it? Remember, I'm going to paste the code in here again. It's not an affiliate link. I'm not affiliated with Micro Center in any way, shape, or form. If you have a Micro Center nearby and you're looking for an Ender 3, for whatever, even for spare parts for something else you already have, for $99 you can't go wrong. You go to that link, fill in the information. It'll send you a text message. Make sure you use an email address that is not registered with that has never been registered with Micro Center before. They'll send you a text message to your cell phone. Click on that link. It will give you a barcode. If you go to your local Micro Center, wherever, however far that is from you, show them that code at the register, and you end up getting your you get $100 off. Between I believe it ends by the 18th of the month. It is cheaper than sourcing. Hey Karen, how are you? I didn't see you come in. It is way cheaper than sourcing parts individually. So even if you want it as a part, if you already have an Ender and it's printing great and you've modded the hell out of it, if you want spare parts or you want to build a kit out of something else and you want to use the components, you wouldn't find the parts for that price. For $100. I doubt you could even get the extrusion for $100. Just the extrusion. But then that's what I'm going to be using it for. I'm going to be using this as a kit to spare parts to build a different printer. That's what my goal is in this machine. So hopefully they ship the parts to me this week. They were on vacation for the last week, so they didn't get the parts up before they went on vacation. They said they were going to ship them out once they get back, and I believe that is Monday, their time, Sunday night our time. So hopefully I'll wake up Monday morning saying, here, my time, saying, here is your tracking number, your parts are on the way. And they normally get here within 5 days or so. Then I will start a stream, step by step. We'll do it live together, converting this into a belt printer, and we'll see how it goes together. And if you want to check out more details on that belt, it's Tig Tac. Let me find their Facebook group. 1 second. Let me find the Facebook group and I'll post it here. One moment. I'm just going to find it here on my. That's magnified way too much. Why is that up there? Okay. Go to my groups. Now it's a private group, so you can try joining it. I don't think they have any restrictions on people joining it. Let me see. Copy. So I'm going to paste in chat. That's the group name. It's there in chat. That's on the group on Facebook. You can try joining it if you're interested. As I said, there's a few beta kits have gone out, or are about to go out. They've already picked the people to do the beta testing. But when they're done, I don't know how much it'll cost for the conversion kit. They haven't told us that yet. But you can check it out, and if you have an Ender 3 or Ender 3 or Ender 3 Pro, it only works with. It does not work with the V2s or anything newer than that. The 3 and the 3 Pro is what they told us it does work with. And they actually take the power supply that's outside on the Ender, the power supply, and they actually incorporate all of it underneath as part of it. That's part of what it parts and printing, to incorporate all this underneath the belt. And there's a nice drawer, a utility drawer that goes in the front for housing everything as well, for any additional tools or whatever else you want in there. That's printing. It's printing nice. So, let's see what's going on. Okay, cool. Well, thank you guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up with this. We're going to let it print. I will post a picture on my Facebook group later on. And I'll be on Jerry's stream anyway this afternoon. Jerry has a hangout starting at 1 p.m. Pacific. That's 4 p.m. Eastern on Jerry's Twitch channel. So he's going to have a hangout there. I'll be on that. And D with Tim, I believe we're talking about going live tonight, maybe. Please clarify in chat if you are. And as well as that, tomorrow night, D with Tim is doing, he does a live stream on Twitch as well. Not really a hangout. He's actually doing upgrades to an Ender machine that he has. But I think it's a CR6. I can't remember. I think it's an Ender 3. I'm not sure which one. But he is doing some upgrades on that machine, and he's been doing it over the last few weeks, like a series of upgrades. So check out his channel as well, D with 3D, and he is actually, I think it's going to be on Twitch as well. Tim, please clarify again in chat and what time. I may go live on Twitch tonight, but yes, definitely tomorrow or YouTube. Oh, you're going YouTube tomorrow? Oh, so you're upgrading his Prusa tomorrow night on YouTube. Okay, so check out D with 3D Canada on YouTube. I have a channel on YouTube called AstroPrinter. If you're interested, subscribe there. I also Jerry has a channel on YouTube also, 3DHP on YouTube. So check it out. 6 p.m. MST, you're going live. Okay. And we'll be on Jerry's stream for sure, definitely. And Tactile 3D, Matt has started a channel. He streamed for 15 minutes. We need to encourage him to get out there and do more. Matt does great stuff with lithophanes. He needs his own channel to show what he's doing and to show the process. So let's encourage Matt to get out there and start to get his own channel going and showing his process about how he goes and builds out the lithophanes. Alright guys, of course, now if anybody else out there who has channels, please be fair at AstroPrinter 16 minutes. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by 16 minutes? I don't know what you mean by 16 minutes. Can you clarify, Kieran? So, while I'm waiting for Kieran to clarify what he means by that, I probably went right over my head because I'm juggling 50,000 things here. When you're on stream, you're always busy. Matt's streaming time. Oh, 16 minutes. Oh, sorry. So Matt streamed for 16 minutes. We want to get Matt streaming for an hour, at least each time he streams, right? Come on, Matt, you can do it. Shout out to Freehaven. Yeah, Freehaven got some good stuff. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got lots going on. Come on, guys. You should be out there supporting each other, right? We're all makers. We're all doing this for fun. We're all like sharing our knowledge and experience with each other. Like this printer build into a belt printer will be a fun project. I want to share it with you all live. we do it all together. We do prints all the time. We do stuff. We do creative ideas, solutions. Not only printing, I do lasers, CNC. Others out there do similar stuff, right? Resin printing. Jerry does resin printing continuously, right? We should be sharing our knowledge and experience out there with each other. Let's do that, and let's follow and subscribe to each other either on YouTube, and subscribe on YouTube, and follow everybody that's in here on Twitch, so we all know when they go live. We all jump in, we all get interactive in chat, we all help each other out, right? Sometimes we need help from the people in chat, so let's keep the people out there. Let's get in there and help each other out. Tactile 3D printers, go live, Matt. Yeah, somebody should go live. I have people in here right now, and I have 17 people watching right now. I'd love to get it to 70 or above, because 70 or above means I can actually apply for partner. But in saying that, share out the streams with your friends and family. Get them to come in. Any other makers you know, get them involved. And if somebody is live, who's live right now or who's about to go live, because we can raid over to their channel. Zolan is live. Well, if the Zolan is live, and if nobody else in here is going to go live, Zolan and I and Jerry and a few of others are part of the same streaming group with Chris Perillo. Some of you do know Chris Perillo, right? So what we're going to do is we'll raid Zolan in a moment, and by that then we carry over users and we expose users to other makers out there, right? So let's get that set up. Let me get that started off. I'll do it over in Twitch, it's better. And I'm going to get the raid set up, and when we're ready to go, I'll click on the raid now, okay? Just getting that started off. Okay, we have people ready to go. We have 14 people coming across out of the 17. Great. So we're going to go over and raid Zolan and hang out, go and say hi to him. I'm off to buy some hubs. Okay, powered hubs are better. So Ender 3 Pro, $99 with the link that I posted in chat. I'll put out my Facebook groups as well this afternoon. You go there, fill out the details. What you get back is a code to your cell phone. Clicking that link, it gives you a barcode. Go to your local Micro Center, get an Ender 3 Pro. They have them in stock if they have them in stock. Go up to the register, show them the code, they scan it, $100 off. You get a printer for $100 plus tax. Fantastic deal, guys. So, are you ready? Let's go over and raid Zolan. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I laugh because I can only apply so many things. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me. It was fun. It was a good build. The printer works. Now I have a functioning printer to tear apart and rebuild it to something different, which is what's going to happen in the next few weeks. Remember, if you're not already following, do so. It'll be fun to watch the build of the belt printer when the parts come in. Thank you guys and have a good day. And why did the raid not happen? Or did it happen? That's weird. I think the raid stopped, did it?